Raw review for the June 23rd episode of Raw. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling podcast. As always, let's cheers, talk about some wrestling.
Yeah, this was a tale of two Raws, I would say. The first half was it was a Raw, and then it was a Raw afterwards.
Yeah, we got to some good stuff later on. It was always good, though, watching it with you guys on our live stream. So thank you for stopping by our YouTube. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let's get into it, though. Seth Rollins, he starts the show. He comes out with all his boys. The still unnamed faction, that is, with Paul Heyman carrying the Money in the Bank briefcase. He says, "What do you want to this crowd? Because one minute you're cheering for Punk, the next minute you're cheering for the OTC, and then you start barking for my boy Braun right here, and then you're singing for me. So what the hell do you guys want? You don't know what you want, so I don't care about what you want." He says, "You need people like me to tell you what's good for you. Everyone that you like exists because of me." And he goes through the past of him and Roman, and him and Punk, and him and Cody Rhodes even. He says, "I built them in my image. I am the past, the present, and this faction right here is the future. Between me and my Oracle," which he grabs Paul Heyman. I don't know if that's his new official name. I kind of like it. "Between me and my Oracle, we know about revolutions and we know how to deal with that opposition, just like LA Knight last week on Friday Night SmackDown when we destroyed him. He got what he deserves. And now Penta is next. All these men are all running a race for second place. This Money in the Bank is the finish line. It is the end game, and it is Seth freaking Rollins." And that was that. I mean, Penta came out ready for the match. No drama after that. Seth Rollins is still doing his I'm the best, I know everything, I'm the future of this division thing. I'll give it a pop.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the other end. I'm going to do a drop on this one.
That's fair.
I just wasn't really locked in on this one. And to me, at the end of the day, like, I like the impending doom and I get it. And I like the two enforcers. But for me, there was much to do about nothing really about this. It was just a long-winded way to be like, hey, I'm still around. I still have this and I still have these guys. So I did like the Paul Heyman stuff on Friday. When Paul cut the promo, I really enjoyed the separation.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Seth part maybe just didn't resonate with me tonight, but I still want, like, I just like when Braun and Bronson just beat people up.
Yeah.
That's the part that gets me excited. That makes me feel more doom than just like the promo.
We are now a few months out from WrestleMania. WrestleMania was the big Paul Heyman turn to join Seth Rollins. So far, how do we kind of feel about the Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman duo combined? Because at the moment, I feel like Seth is so good on a mic that it kind of defeats the purpose of what Paul Heyman does as a manager for groups and factions.
Yeah, that was always the really good part about Paul, right? Paul does the speaking and Paul kind of does the carrying. Well, Seth's always been pretty good on the mic, I would say. I would like it better if Paul maybe spoke a little bit for maybe Braun and Bronson. Maybe we kind of got him to do that, because when they're together, it takes away, I think, the best part, I would say, about them, which is Paul Heyman on the mic. I would rather listen to Paul kind of cut it than Seth, but then you also have Seth not really cutting it. So are they able to really balance the two so far when they're in the ring together? I find myself not really resonating or not really being able to listen as well or understand the message as much. So I liked it when Paul was on SmackDown cutting it and Seth was on Raw cutting it, and they're separated a little bit. That makes it feel a little bit more impending doom, anytime, anywhere sort of thing. Plus, we were talking the whole Seth, CM Punk, Roman stuff. Like, they kind of went at the CM Punk stuff, but then CM Punk took a detour and he's fighting John Cena, and Roman Reigns hasn't come back. So they're kind of just treading water for me, I feel like, until a Roman return or until CM Punk circles back around, something like that.
Yeah, I am kind of with you. It does kind of feel like we're just holding off on Paul Heyman really establishing himself as a verbal member of the group until the impending Roman Reigns return, whenever that is down the line. So we'll wait for that. I would personally like to have Rollins kind of send Braun Breaker on like a mission of some sort and have Paul Heyman just completely leave that, because then we really get what Paul Heyman is, which is the guy who talks up the guy behind him to the point where the guy behind him doesn't even need to speak, because he's so built up from all the things that Paul Heyman has said that we're just like, yeah, that guy's amazing because we believe what this guy is saying, right? So when Seth and Paul are in the ring, it kind of feels like Paul has no purpose, but I think we should give the group some time and see what Paul can do. And when Seth isn't in the picture, i.e. what he was doing on SmackDown, stuff like that. But it does feel like right now it's kind of a meh situation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would even say maybe send Paul with Bronson to do that. I feel like Braun and Seth kind of work together pretty well and people kind of cheer them, and Braun's already kind of quote unquote made, right? So maybe if you have Paul with Bronson.
That's fair.
Because Bronson feels like almost the forgotten third member in a
That's
sense.
fair. Yeah, that's fair. We would get our Penta Braun Breaker match. This match was good. It was good. They didn't have much chemistry. It was a little bit rugged at times, but it was good stuff. They had a good spot where Braun front suplex Penta onto the top of the ring post, and then followed that up by doing his jumping off the apron clothesline thing, which is real nice. Braun dominated most of this match. Penta would get little spurts here and there. He got his suicide dives. He got his where he jumps over the top rope and Hurricane Rana's Braun Breaker off. But eventually, Penta and Braun are going back and forth into the match, and Penta decides to go for some sort of springboard when Braun comes out of nowhere and spears the hell out of this man. I mean, one of the best spears we've seen in quite some time. Seems like we always say that with Braun Breaker, but he gets the win here. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins walks up to him afterwards and says, "That's your one warning, so stay away from our group, stay away from me." Penta kind of gives him some attitude, but that's really that. What it was a solid match between Braun Breaker and Penta. I love it. I'm popping it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop it as well. 2 of fan favorites on the roster.
Yeah.
They're both exciting. They both got their stuff in. Like you said, a little wonky at times. Not the crispest match we've ever seen in the world, but it's fine. I also kind of think sometimes that adds to some of Braun Breaker's stuff. I kind of like that. And the spear at the end of it really kind of saved it. I mean, that's kind of when you're like, oh my God, look at that. Yeah. That's awesome. That's so cool. I don't really care what led up to that because we got this cool spear. So popping that.
Yeah, you want a reaction to the spear? It's going to be on our reaction page on TikTok and stuff. So go ahead and look at that as well. But we'll move on. We find out that Liv is going to miss several months. It's now officially come from the mouth of WWE here. And we also find out that Dom Mysterio has suffered an injury that's keeping him out of Night of Champions. That match against AJ Styles is now cut off. It's not happening. We go to Judgment Day backstage, and Finn is basically trying to cheer everybody up from Liv's injury. Dom's obviously sad. Everybody's sad. Raquel's sad. He kind of hypes everybody up. He tells Raquel that basically stop moping, and she gets all pissed about it. And he's like, whoa, that's it. That's the fire that we need. We need you to be the enforcer, the dominator. And he says, you need to go make Rhea Ripley pay. So Raquel's like, I'm going to address that later on. But Dom and AJ missing their match, that kind of sucks. I'm actually going to give that a drop. I was much looking forward to Dom versus AJ. That's cool.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to just not do anything? Yeah, because I understand your disappointment. We will eventually be getting that, but what we got in place of it, I mean, that was a pop.
Yeah. Before that happens, we would have Goldberg. He's sitting down. He's sitting down with Michael Cole for a good old spicy interview, and he says, "Did you think I'd let that family stuff slide, Gunther? We came as fans to have fun, and he verbally assaulted us. He has no respect. He embarrassed me in front of my family, in front of my fans. I can't let him get away with it. I don't care if I have 1 foot in the grave. I'm coming for him. As long as I'm breathing, I will make him pay. I will beat the F out of you." He says it. He beeps it, but he says it. And he says he'll beat the F out of him at Saturday Night Main Event. So Goldberg's obviously pissed. I thought it was a good little charged up promo. I don't know if I'm going to give it a pop or a drop. But they put him in a good environment to cut something decent, and he did it. So giving it to him, popping it.
You're popping it. Yeah, I'm dropping it.
Oh,
it doesn't really do anything for me. Newsflash: Bill Goldberg wasn't really known for his promos. So it wasn't known for his promos in the 90s or 2000s. It wasn't known for his promos now. I get it. It's a fiery thing. You embarrassed me in front of my family. I don't care. The promo we got much later on, was much better, and it did the work that this tried to do here. This did nothing for me.
Damn. That's some fire up promo right there. Get you on a mic. Get you in a ring with Gunther.
Yeah.
We would have a match, though. Queen of the Ring semifinal matchup. It was Jade Cargill taking on Roxanne Perez. This one was good. It started out with Roxanne basically like, I'm faster than you. You can't catch me. All that good stuff. And basically she said, I'm going to go after the knee. I'm going to cut down the tree. That's what little people do to big people in wrestling. She got to the point where Jade was like trying to carry her up the stairs on the outside, and Roxanne slipped off and tripped her up to where her leg was like stuck in between the stairs and the ring post. And then she kicked the stairs and the rest of the match, she was trying to go after that leg. So she was being really, really smart until Jade eventually would catch fire by catching Roxanne out of the air because she is the most insane human being to ever walk the planet. And she does a fallaway slam and then a spine buster. Then she does a freaking choke slam. Like she licks Roxanne on the face and then just choke slams her Kane style to the mat.
Well, Kane never did that.
Yeah, he didn't lick
Or
her.
Jelly Roll. He never did that either.
It's the 1-2 ooh there. Rox would get a little bit. She get one of her moves. That move that she does where she like rolls into a knee into the back of Jade's neck. Gets a 1-2 ooh on that there. But then she'd go for the pop rocks. Jade would reverse it into a power bomb, into a Jaded 1, 2, 3. Jessica Carr had to make sure that their freaking shoulders were down because she always does. But Jade defeats Roxanne Perez. She advances to the Queen of the Ring final against Asuka. This was the correct choice. Jade is on a mission, man. She looks amazing. I'm all for it. Pop.
Yeah, I know. I had to throw that in there. I knew that was going to bug you.
did.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this. This was what I thought was going to happen. I had Jade winning the Queen of the Ring, so that's still really on track here. You have Roxanne, who is phenomenal. Roxanne has other stuff to kind of really be involved in, take care of. She made Jade look really good. I know at points the match wasn't phenomenal, right? There were some spots here and there. Still a really good match. Jade still came out looking strong, looking awesome. And really, at the end of the day, I'm finding myself wanting Jade to win that just for that Naomi cash and potentially lurking around, hanging around in the background.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, we have all fantasy booked it to death at this point of like Jade wins it. Somehow Naomi gets that title. And then we go into SummerSlam with Jade versus Naomi for the title. That sounds like money to me. I think Jade has absolutely just improved exponentially since her injury. Like ever since she got back, I feel like she hasn't missed a beat. She's just phenomenal in the ring. All that old sort of complaints people would have about her in-ring style, I think those are all completely gone. I think she's now proven she's 100% ready. And if they want to give her the Queen of the Ring, go ahead and do it, WWE, because she has absolutely earned it, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's steadily improved.
Yeah.
I mean, she's much better now.
Yeah, she's great. We would have a little interaction between Rusev and Sheamus backstage. They're still mad at each other. And Rusev was basically talking smack about how Sheamus is being all buddy-buddy to people who are just going to stab him in the back later on anyway. He's a snake in the grass is what he called him. And Sheamus is like, you're just mad because I'm walking my own path nowadays. He brings up the League of Nations from back in the day. He says, look, gets in Rusev's face and says, put up or shut up. And Rusev says, I will make you remember this. And they go their own separate ways. So the Rusev Sheamus stuff is continuing. I don't think this is a bad part to get a drop. I don't think it's going to get a pop. I just kind of saw it and was like, you stole 60 seconds of my time. Okay, I'm down for this when it goes in the future. That's kind of how I feel right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm much more excited when they get in the ring and the bell rings and two big old meaty men slapping man meat,
Amen.
as the saying is.
Amen.
And so that's really just what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I don't care what you guys say. Just fight. Like,
Yeah.
just
The League
do
of
it.
Nations stuff is also kind of like,
Yeah,
I
I know.
get it, I understand it, but it's also just like, why?
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
I agree.
whatever.
But then what you said earlier about the Goldberg thing, Gunther, he came to the ring. And Gunther, man, when he has some reason to speak in a ring, I mean, dude just goes ham. He's great at it. He says, last week we were supposed to celebrate me winning my championship, but Goldberg had to come out here and tell me that I was next. And I thought about what that means. You know what your next means? It means one spear, one jackhammer, and that's it. But it's not 1999 anymore. It's 2025, and I'm the guy. I'm the champion. He said, I see a 58-year-old man who can't lace my boots. I officially apologize to your family, to your wife and your son for everything that I will be doing to you at Saturday Night Main Event. At Saturday Night Main Event, the legacy of Bill Goldberg will die. Cuts it. No Bill Goldberg running.
And
no
the crowd
nothing.
was behind
And
this.
the crowd
was like,
You would have
yeah.
thought freaking Gunther was Jey Uso in the moment. I mean, they were freaking yeeting basically out there. I loved every second of this. I think Gunther is just fantastic when he gets the opportunity to go out there and cut a passionate promo, man.
Yeah, I'm going to pop it. This was awesome. I mean, I love this. I know Gunther at times, people might talk a little bit of trash about his promo ability, but when you give him something or someone in the ring that he really cares about, he's going to do a great job. I am interested to see kind of how they book this, because if that crowd reaction tonight is any indication going forward, people might start to cheer Gunther, which that'll be kind of interesting to navigate. I'm sure Gunther will just continue to try to be the nasty, bad heel that he loves to be, but it's going to be interesting to see kind of how they kind of navigate that.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of navigating it, like, what did you expect from the WWE Universe at this time? It's like the second that you ripped the title off of a fan favorite Jey Uso to immediately run a Bill Goldberg rivalry. It's like you set yourself up for whoever is fighting Bill Goldberg is going to get cheered here. And if you wanted Gunther to get booed, you're just stupid at this point. Like no one was going to get booed in that situation to have Goldberg immediately come back and get a title shot. So they're going to navigate it by having the match happen and getting it over with. And then just hopefully you can make Gunther look like a total heel during the match in some way, shape, or form, but that's about it.
Yeah, and like we talked a little bit about on our stream, it's going to also be interesting because Saturday Night Main Event's on July 12th. SummerSlam is August 2nd and 3rd, so quick turnaround there. So how do you navigate the next defense, the next feud for Gunther?
I agree. This was a shocking turn of events that happened next. Sami Zayn, he's backstage. He's backstage getting interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and she basically gives it, asks him along the lines of like, well, what are you going to do now that you lost? But before he can talk, Mr. Karrion Kross walks up, and he says, you had me. I believed you, Sami. I thought you'd win the thing. But then what happened? Randy dropped your ass. He says, Sami, I'm always right at the end of the day, and you will never be a world champion. Sami Zayn, he takes a step back, and freaking just right hand clocks Kross across the mouth. I mean, nails him. Just right in front of his girl. I forget.
Scarlett.
I forget
his wife.
His wife. Sorry about that. And Sami gets on his knee and he says, our match is going to be official. It's time to fight. Tick-tock, Kross. And as Sami Zayn walks away, Kross looks at Scarlett and starts to laugh and goes, got him. But it's official. At Night of Champions, Karrion Kross is going to be in a freaking match. We've won. Is Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn? Is it random? Yup. Am I going to complain? Nope. Karrion Kross is fighting. Love it. Popping it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about our King of the Ring predictions about Sami potentially going to the finals because of how loved Sami is. Well, you had to have Sami on the card somehow, so how do you do that? Him versus Kross. I'm all about it. You kind of kill two birds with one stone, right? You get Sami on the card there, but you also satisfy Kross getting a match, Kross getting a PLE match. I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say either. It's like, this is what we've all begged for. Beggars can't be choosers. Is it weirdly placed onto the Night of Champions card kind of out of nowhere? Yep. Do I care? No, we've been begging for Karrion Kross to be on the screen for months and months and months and months. We're like, why can't he get any other matches or our main event or anything like that? It's like, what better way than to just throw him on to the card with that includes matches like John Cena versus CM Punk. Like, you're going to have a ton of eyes on this thing. Puts Karrion Kross in a great situation to get more matches afterward because it's definitely not going to be a one and done match, right? They're probably going to continue that feud a little bit at some point. So Karrion Kross gets to fight on a PLE. I'm all there for it, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. You got to be happy.
We get stay backstage though. Damn, we went a long time without wrestling in this one, huh? We have Bayley and Lyra. Bayley's like doing her curls.
Rubber band.
Lyra,
all about those.
Yeah, Lyra walks up to her and she apologizes for not being very happy about her return last week in her Intercontinental title match. And she's like, you can understand though. It's just been a lot. And Bayley kind of was like, yeah, I shouldn't have to explain to anybody why I deserve a title match. Kind of just being stuck up. But they kind of leave the situation on good terms. Bayley was like, look, once I win the damn thing, you get first dibs at it, so we'll be good there. But you see in the background, Becky Lynch is watching, and then we get an interview right after this, and Becky is getting interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and she's like, did you see that? Bayley and Lyra are conspiring to overthrow me during this match, and she just storms off. So
it's the only way they can take the title from me.
Yeah, it's the only way they can take the title from me. And that would lead us to our women's Intercontinental title match. It was Becky Lynch defending against Bayley, and these are two of the four horsewomen, and man, they wrestle like it. They have chemistry out the wazoo, man. It is absolutely great. Bayley would like immediately stun Becky, like stun her through the ropes, and they would fall out to the outside, and then she'd run off the steps and do a leaping elbow. So she was hitting Bayley with everything. Becky eventually does put the arm breaker on her, like to disarm her, but like breaks her arm breaker over the top rope. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. I like that. We got a bunch of good stuff here. They were reversing each other's moves. They basically knew all of each other's moves, and that was the storyline, right? They know everything about each other. Eventually, though, we spill out to the outside of the ring, and Becky would throw Bayley over the announce table. And when she threw Bayley over the announce table, she was like, champion's advantage. I'm just going to stack chairs and everything on top of Bayley. So she just starts to build a chair fort over Bayley, who's under the announce table. And she gets into the ring and is like almost celebrating. And that's when you hear Lyra, woo! She starts digging Bayley out of the announce table grave that she's in. And then Becky Lynch starts to talk that talk, and Lyra gets about this close to hitting Becky when she's on the ring apron, but she decides to get off. That's when Bayley comes over, and then you see Becky coming for a baseball drop kick through the ropes. Lyra sees it coming and pushes Bayley out of the way, so she eats the drop kick. So Lyra, she rolls over by the announce table. Match kind of continues for another minute or two, and Bayley now has Becky planted in the middle of the ring, and Bayley's up top to do her big elbow.
She got the Bayley to belly.
She got the Bayley to belly, and then she heads up to the top rope to do her elbow drop to end this thing. And that's when Lyra just goes insane. She just jumps on top of Becky and starts beating the hell out of her in the middle of the ring. And Bayley's at the top rope, like, what the hell are you doing right now? Ding, ding. Becky wins because of disqualification. She kind of scrambles off with the belt, and Lyra gets pulled back into the ring by Bayley, but no physical. They don't fight or anything. They're just screaming at each other the entire time. So Becky Lynch keeps her Intercontinental Championship with the help of Lyra, who destroys the match for Bayley by getting her disqualified by attacking Becky Lynch during the match. So we now have an official kind of path to evolution in this triple threat match. We all knew it was happening. It's going to be great. Popping it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop it as well. You might not really like it at the end of the day in terms of like the execution, it's kind of but it was a match to get to this, which we all knew was going to happen. So that means we're getting the triple threat. So I'm popping it. You kind of have to. Like you said, the match was really good stuff. I'm interested to see how Lyra gets inserted into it because the other two have really good chemistry together. Becky, Lyra have really good chemistry together. I'm assuming the match is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is that Lyra did kind of look dumb here. Like when Becky hit her for the first time, Lyra was looking right at her. She knew it was coming, and she made the decision to push Bayley out of the way. So it's like, why did you then feel the need to jump Becky Lynch? Like you could have waited, but whatever. This is all about getting us to the triple threat match that we all want to see, that we all know it's going to be fantastic. And now we have reason for everybody to kind of squabble back and forth with each other. So this is just part of the process. It's going to be great. I hope Lyra comes out on top at the very end of it, but this is going to be fun, man. I can't wait to watch.
Yeah, I think we've learned anything from Raw. If you want a title shot, you just kind of insert yourself in. So
yeah, just hit people.
Just attack, yeah.
Raquel. She comes out. Actually, before this, we would have Chad and Penta. They got into a fight backstage, so that's continuing. But
who was in the background?
Ludwig.
Yes.
I don't know why he was there, but he was there.
He's made his return.
Ludwig returns on Monday Night Raw. That's going to be the title.
It should be.
Raquel Rodriguez, she's here. She's steaming mad after Finn hyped her up. She's heading to the ring to call out Rhea. She says, she screams a bunch of stuff in Spanish. I don't know that part, but she does say, Rhea, you can't get away with screwing me out of my Queen of the Ring match. She'll get out here. And Rhea says, I'm on it. Let's do this thing. They start to go after each other, and they start in the ring. I think Rhea boots her to the outside, but then Raquel kind of gets the best of her on the outside of the ring by throwing her over the timekeeper area. Then Raquel does what everybody wanted, right? Slim Jim table time. She gets the table and she puts it in the ring, but Rhea gets the best of her again, and Rhea's about to put her through the table with probably a riptide.
It's like a riptide. When
you see Roxanne Perez run out there, and she jumps on Rhea Ripley. It's always funny to watch Roxanne do it because Rhea's a huge human. But it's enough distraction to the point where when Rhea does kind of get Roxanne off, she turns directly into Raquel, who hits her with a Tijuana bomb through the table. And I mean, she lifts Rhea to the sky and puts her through this thing, plants her right away. Rhea, after the match or after the moment, runs into Adam Pearce's office, demands a match, and we have it now. After a Tijuana bomb through the table, Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley now have a Night of Champions street fight. Didn't see it coming, but just from this one segment, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm down for this fight. It's going to be great. Popping it.
Yeah, you kind of have to pop this. This was good. I think this did the best in terms of for a woman wrestler tonight. This was the best segment for any of them, really. This was awesome. This was great. Yeah, didn't really expect this at all, but like we kind of said, you kind of had to do something with Liv kind of going out. Maybe Liv EO was supposed to be a Night of Champions, maybe. So you got to kind of fill that time, fill that spot. And this has been really, really good. You can have Raquel get the win over Rhea with some Roxanne help, and then Rhea needs some help, and maybe your girl Nikki Bella inserts herself, and maybe that's kind of the path we go down now.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I'm just happy Raquel is going to get a proper, I actually look competent around Rhea Ripley moment, because when she got her reintroduction earlier last year, Rhea was in the middle of her, Terror Twins phase, and Raquel kind of got steamrolled through that entire thing. So this one little segment of her putting Rhea through a table made her look great compared to the last year of what she's been doing. So the street match should make her look great. If we want to do Raquel and Roxanne as tag team champions, I'm 100% down for it. If you want to put Nikki Bella with Rhea, 100% down for it. So basically, I walked away from this segment going, I like everything that's laid out for me with this segment. So it's just like a win-win-win for me. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. I think this was like the best.
Yeah. What could also be a win-win? Io and Asuka came face to face for a little backstage segment. I don't really know what they said. She basically said, I think Io went along the lines of like, hey, we used to be friends, and Asuka was like, yeah, but we're not in a tag team anymore. So
yeah, they used to say like they used to fight for the championship or talk about it when they were in Damage Control, and then Asuka's like, well, we're not in that anymore.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
see it SummerSlam.
Okay,
but they have a little face to face, and the entire time I'm just like, yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I want Jade to win, but that'd be great too. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean. Yeah, I picked Jade to win Queen of the Ring, but Asuka's also like you see that and you're like, well, Io has had nothing. Yeah, give me her and Asuka, please.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
by the way, full Night of Champions predictions will be out Wednesday, so be looking out for that. Then we get to our main event, King of the Ring semi-final match. It was CODY RHODES taking on Jey Uso. And I mean, this was 10 minutes of intros. Love them, but damn, man, Jay, he's doing the whatever you call it, one more time thing just on like a normal entrance without a promo or anything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty wild.
It's an encore.
They shake hands to start the match, and this match was 100% we know each other's moves. Like they were reversing everything. Jay was ducking out of Crossroads. Cody was ducking super kicks. they were on each other the entire time and knew each other's moves the entire time. There was this cool little part though when Cody would reverse a splash and put Jay in the Kimura lock, and then Jay would reverse the Kimura lock into the sleeper hold that Jay is now, I guess, fully adapted. But that was kind of a cool little moment here. And then just all hell breaks loose, man. We had Jay would go for a crossroads on the man, and of course, because he tried to use his move, he gets Cody cutted because of it. 1-2 ooh there. Then Jay would pop up, spear Cody Rhodes. We get the 1-2 ooh there. Then we get a super Cody cutter. 1-2 ooh there. Then Jay does hit a crossroads. Gets a 1-2 ooh there. That move sucks. Roman Reigns. And then he starts talking. And he says he's starting to go, get up, Cody. Get up, Cody. And that's when Cody would kind of go to his knees and eat a super kick. And then Jay would bounce off the ropes and hit him with the spear. So he's taking a crossroads, super kick, spear. Jey Uso decides to go to the top rope to do a splash to end this thing. When Cody was like, nope, stamina meter's full. I'm up. And he pops up. He goes to the top rope. And then he like puts Jay in like a cutter.
Like a super duper cutter.
Yeah, but like a standing off the top rope, super Cody cutter off the top rope, nails it. And then he picks him up, hits the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes defeats Jey Uso, qualifies to go to Night of Champions, King of the Ring final against Randy Orton in what was a spectacular match with him and Jey Uso. But I'm happy Cody comes out with the win here. We're popping it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. It's really kind of goes to show, to me at least, that Cody Rhodes doesn't really have a bad match with anybody. I mean, at all at this point. Yeah, this was the right choice in terms of Cody versus Randy, King of the Ring final to find out who faces John Cena. I mean, they've kind of hinted at it and they talked about, well, I'll go through you. I'll do anything I can. This match kind of hinted at that with Jay and Cody kind of doing that. Jay had a little bit of moments there where you were like, oh my God, like Jay's pissed off. Jay's angry. Jay's like, he's fierce. He's not just yeet guy right now. Right. So we got a little bit of hint of that, and Cody kind of went to another dark place as well to kind of get the win. So it's going to be interesting to see who takes that win with Cody and Randy. Going to be a hell of a match. I mean, that's going to be a hard hitting drag out slobber knocker, but right guy won here and super excited for the King of the Ring final.
Yeah, my 2 takeaways from this are, one, they made the right decision because I'm immediately so invested in Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. Winner gets to face John Cena. Like, what? Hell yeah, that sounds phenomenal to me. And second one is Jay looked fantastic. Jay loses this match, but I mean, he looks like he can go balls to the wall with anybody, right? Like, he went toe-to-toe with Cody Rhodes and took him to the very, very end. And after he hit that crossroads on him and that spear and everything, I was like, damn, they may give this thing to Jey Uso. So both of them walk away looking fantastic. I don't know what's next for Jey Uso. I mean, Gunther is right there. If you do have Cody win, you could find Jay back into a world title match scenario. I don't want to see Jay and Gunther again, but you could do it. But my takeaway is here, right winner. Jay still looks strong. Win-win situation for WWE at the end of the day with this one.
Yeah, exactly. You can really set it better yourself. So, the last part of Raw definitely picked up a little bit. One little thing we forgot to mention that popped in my head that was kind of weird. JD McDonough had a random
he did.
promo package that they should have aired. Yeah, that they should have aired when he came back. Thought it was really good. Thought it was awesome.
No one's ready for the ace.
Random position, random spot.
Gotta love you, JD.
It is what it is.
Gotta love you, JD. Anyway, we gave this one 16 pops to 3 drops is what I have written down. I want to say 4. I might have messed that one up. Not that great of an episode of Raw, but there was just good stuff that's happening. I'm looking forward to SmackDown and Night of Champions, and you should be too, because you can come watching with us this weekend, youtube.com/@CODWrestlePod on our live stream. We will be doing SmackDown and King of the Ring or Night of Champions, whatever you call it this weekend. And for everything else, it's @COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. We have a link tree in our bio. It's got all of our links to everything. We do have a new Reacts channel on TikTok. If you want to go see our live reactions to everything that happened on Raw, it's right there for you. But I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.